I don't see any other presidential candidate on the 2024 ballot that can or deserves more to win. Kick out this incredibly destructive administration, evict them from office, and put someone back in there that will course correct our country before we totally go off the cliff. Because I'll tell you, it's not being dramatic. We are so close to that right now. We have got to get some sanity back in this country. We've got to get our moral clarity back. And I know a lot of you are going to say, well, Trump's not all that moral. Okay, Trump, I am not advocating for the person. I'm advocating for the policies. Okay, we've all done things in our past. We've all made mistakes, and thank God we've been redeemed. What does he do today? What did he do for the last 4 years before this corrupt administration came in? What did he do? All of us were in so much better shape then. We can be again. And can you imagine? He gets back in there now, knowing what he knows now, knowing all that he's been put through this during this presidential pause between his presidencies, which I think is going to be. Can you imagine how much more effective he can be now that he's had a little space from it, now that he's had a little time to reflect on it? He will mop the floor with the bureaucrats. This is why they are doing everything in their power to keep him out, because they know it. I've said this before, I will say it again. When you go to court, when you've been accused of something that you didn't do, you go to court, you don't hire the nice guy as your attorney. You hire a pit bull, because they're your pit bull. This is what a lot of women see in Trump now. They've messed with our kids. Our kids now, the mama bear instinct has come out. You need a pit bull. He is that pit bull. He will go in and mop the floor. All right, ladies, joining me for tea time today is our good friend, Aundrea Gomez. She is with Citizens for Renewing America. And we're pretty fired up about this trial. So, Aundrea, the first thing, that I think when I look at all of this that's going on, it's natural to become infuriated by it, right? But I'm kind of taking a little bit of a different approach to it this week. Now it's like I'm grateful for it, because it is exposing so much, not just rot in our universities and all that we're seeing play out on the news, but the rot in the justice system.
The process that we're going through right now, where so much is being revealed. We've been so comfortable for so long. I understand the inclination to want to stay in that level of comfort, but to kind of stick our head in the sands and pretend that we don't know what's going on around us doesn't change the fact of what's actually going on around us. And, like you said, we have a weaponized Department of Justice, a weaponized FBI, a weaponized Department of Education. I mean, we are being ruled by an administrative state who is acting as if they are independent, and yet also the activist arm of this woke Biden administration.
I loved what his attorney said today when she came out to the podium to speak on the break. She said that, we get a microphone and we do have cameras in the courtroom, and we can tell the world what's going on in here. She says, but what happens when you go to court and you don't have a podium out front here, and you've got some judge that's wielding this power so recklessly in your life? She goes, what do you do? This should terrify every American. And I think she's absolutely right.
It does. And we're being, politically targeted every day. Most of us don't have the resources to hire that kind of an attorney. We're much more limited. And we already know that the judge has already declared that the guilt in this case before even hearing the case.
Yeah.
I mean, when is that okay in America? It's a show trial, a complete show trial. It's political theater. There is no crime. There is no victim.
And her running on that whole thing, we're going to get Trump, is so nasty. I mean, all of it, it's just all being exposed. And that's what I mean when I say I'm grateful. I'm so glad that people are getting a chance to see it. Because had we not had such a contrast from the Trump administration to the Biden administration, and then all this theater, like you say, in and out of these courtrooms where they have absolutely nothing no meat on the bone. It is like a wake up call for America. Y'all know that when I ran for office, I was on the Trump down ticket, and I was very proud to be on that, because whether you like him or not, his policies were spot on for conservative values. And that's what I look at. I look at who's going to uphold our values, those 7 that I talk about all the time in the Lady Up America app. And if you don't have that app, please go get it. There's a wealth of information in there to really help bring you up to speed on where we stand right now in this country and what we can actually do to start affecting the change, to start rowing in the new direction and getting people on board with us, influencing the people in your sphere of influence.